what we're going to talk about for the next little bit is exactly what we're going to be talking about for the next 3 days. 21st century sales. All right? There's two things that we get involved in. One is principle, the other is technique. Principles are carved in stone. These are things that have existed long before I existed. Techniques, that's what works today. We take those principles and we add something to it. Technology, the internet, okay, right now those are techniques. 6, 7, 8 years ago, even though you may have had email at home, dealers weren't that involved in. But here's what brings us 21st century selling. First, concern for the customer. All right, it's not just words. If you don't care about finding out what the customer needs to drive, you're going to spend your time negotiating deals on cars they're not going to buy. I mean, nothing used to get me angrier as a manager to sit there and negotiate a deal to the smallest possible profit. And then when I get involved in the deal, ask the customer, what's it going to take? And they go, I want the blue one, and the blue one's right over here. Okay, so get the information from the customer. The customer will tell you everything you need to sell them a car every single time. You just have to listen. And we're going to go through each of these things in a lot of detail over the next couple of days. Second, we only talk about facts based on knowledge. Okay, repeat after me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Say it again.
I don't know.
Anybody get hurt? Right. Never forget that. You don't have to know everything. If you don't know it, say you don't know it. If you do, based on your knowledge, give them the facts. There is no, it might get 32 miles to the gallon. It might know it. Or say, I don't know. And you can find out. Everything you need to know is in this building. Okay? Third, everything you do is for your income. When I say make a 6-figure presentation, here's the thing that I learned a long time ago. If you want to do something different in your life, the first thing that has to change is the way you think about it. Okay? So if you want to make 6 figures, you've got to think like 6 figures, then you have to act like 6 figures. Might as well show it to the customer. Right? If you're making 100 grand a year, you think you might show that car a little differently than if you're not making anything? Oh, of course. Right? Listen, go look at a house. Have a realtor take you on a tour, and I'll tell you how much money that realtor makes. Right? The ones that open the door and go, kitchen, bathroom, you know, they're doing the flight attendant thing. This way, go out this way, right? Nothing. But the 6-figure real estate agent is going in there going, let me show you the kitchen. Now picture this. It's Thanksgiving. Look at the size of the oven. You can put 2 turkeys, and all of a sudden, what are you seeing? You're putting yourself in that house. It's the same thing here. When you show the customer, hey, do you realize that this car has all the power and performance you need, which means you can get your family safely on the highway, and the fuel economy that you want. Do you see it's different than, yeah, the gas mileage is pretty good. All right? From this point forward, everything we do is pre-planned. Before you say hi to a customer, you're going to know everything you're going to do. All right? How many of you know who Robin Williams is? Give me a word to describe Robin Williams.
Nuts.
What's that?
Nuts.
Nuts? What?
Crazy.
Crazy. What else?
Loud.
Loud. What? Eclectic.
Hilarious.
How many of you think he's a genius?
All day long.
How many of you have seen him perform comedy where he gets off on a tangent and he's even funnier and then he comes right back to where he is? And you think that that's off the cuff. It's not. Robin Williams is given a 1-hour slot for his concert. 45 minutes of that is scripted to the second. He knows exactly what he's going to do, second by second, for 45 minutes of that performance. What that allows him to do is his whole performance is second nature. So he can afford to go off on a tangent and come right back where he left off. Okay? If we get to that point where we're pre-planned, and the customer goes, there's one of these, oh, what's the red one? It goes over there? No problem. We go over there, we get that question answered, we bring them back right to where we left off, and we continue. We're pre-planned. All right? We assist in buying. We don't sell. All right? How many of you, what do telemarketers call?
Dinner.
Dinner. Absolutely, right? And aren't they all, hi, my name is Joe, and I'm calling today to congratulate you. It's annoying. Because they're selling something. We're not selling anything. In fact, people hate to be sold. We all hate to be sold. Right? A man could go into a men's clothing store buck naked, and when the guy jumps in and says, "Hi, can I help you?" "No, I'm just looking." It's that defense mechanism. But if we present them with all the information, and we do a six-figure presentation, we cover all the bases, we can ask them to buy, can't we? Why? Because we've given them everything they need to know to make that buying decision. People love to buy. All right? Why do they sell more giant screen TVs the week before Super Bowl? Because the technology that week is so good? No, they want to see the game. That's what we do. We show them how to see the game and then let them buy. All right? And then we overcome objections. Objections are nothing more than people being afraid. All right? My first book was called Reject Me, I Love It. Why? Because if you're being rejected, it's out of fear. All right? We fear being rejected. We don't want the customer to reject us, so we never ask them a question that they might say no to. I'm telling you, ask the question. But we also fear being rejected by our manager for not closing the deal. Right? And you know what? The customer's afraid of being rejected because they don't want to go home, pull in the driveway and have their neighbor go, "You paid what?" Ha ha ha. They're afraid of that. Follow up. More money will be made following up with the customers that don't buy today than you'll make with the customers that do. It's very important. Not only that, the people you do sell to, you want to follow up because the next step is you build for your future, which means I don't want to sell you a car today. I want to sell you all your cars for the rest of your life, but I have to earn that, right? Stay on top. You have to know what's going on in the world. I'll give you an example. I'm training in Fayetteville, North Carolina. What's in Fayetteville? Vietnam, right? Fort Bragg. Right? So when the newspaper says 8,500 troops returning home, I'm probably going to be busy in my car dealership. All right? Because they got a bunch of money in their pockets and they haven't driven anything in a while. They're coming in. The same thing is, if 8,500 troops are leaving, I need to adjust to that. Okay? You'll see when they're leaving, all these guys start to trade in their more expensive cars to downsize. We need to know what's going on. And the last thing, and this is really should be number one, we have to invest in ourselves every single day. Anybody ever hear the law of attraction? Understand it? Okay, law of attraction is a universal law, which means you can't argue with it, it just is. When we bring into our lives what we attract by what we do. So here's the deal. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, why would anybody else help you? It's that simple. It's not complicated. It's not philosophical. If you're not willing to take the time to go out and find a way to make yourself better, then why would you expect other people to help you get better? It won't work. Now, what do you invest? You don't have to spend any money. Go to the library. Read a good book. All right? And we'll talk about those things later. But if you're constantly investing in yourself, if you're constantly trying to make yourself better, people will show up in your life to improve you even more. And they may come out of nowhere. I have met the most interesting people in my... Who knows who Zig Ziglar is?
I've heard the name.
Okay, Zig Ziglar is the top motivational sales trainer on the planet. He's about 82 years old. I've had the privilege of having breakfast with the man on 3 different occasions. Okay, why? I don't know. But at the time, I really needed to do it. And it happened. You know, and we'll talk about some of that stuff as we go further. But this is the 21st century. It's no longer, tell you what I'm going to do, let's make a deal. Hey, I got a car for you. It's a cream puff. You know what I mean? It doesn't work. All right? You got to get today. All right? And your competition is not. Your competition is still operating like it's 1999. And I'm saying that like it's history. All right?